Shit.
So they released their top 10 offenses. Colorado's number 8.
This moment in sports history will be remembered as one of the better fights, man. Like,
Put the cherry on top. They played Austria today. Just to score that game. 32-25 to not medal the car.
Hello and welcome to Roseman's Weekly Podcast, episode 22. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like the video, comment anything you guys see, give you good or bad. Go follow us on Spotify, TikTok, and Twitter as well. Fellas, how are we feeling today?
With
Hey,
this
we're back.
with this 22 episode, we're in our Joey Logano episode. It's going to be a slow one.
Oh.
Bird.
Hey, left turn after left turn. But yes, Matt, you're right. We're in episode 22, our Ricky Henderson episode, if you will. Definitely back and ready to party, Drew. Let's get after it.
That's right. Clyde Drexler, 22. Clyde the Glide, episode 22 for all the bros sitting down in the bleachers today. But let's start off normal show like always. College football, another great book week in college football. I'll go off with my two games to start off the week. Bama versus LSU. Jaden Milroe goes absolutely nuclear on the ground. I say nuclear because they absolutely destroyed LSU. And it's sad. Brian Kelly's sad. Death Valley was sad. Sad.
When Brian Kelly is sad, the world is a better place.
I can't argue with that.
Hey, listen, Alabama came in and absolutely just elbowed, right? Like, I loved everything on the college game day of Pat McAfee feeding into the, let's just call it the LSU chant without us getting flagged.
Hey, yo.
But it was just unbelievable. And again, Milroe with 4 rushing touchdowns. Like, that's just, we've seen him do it, but to do it against a team like LSU, that was incredibly impressive. I'm not going to lie.
I'll have to admit, I was a little out on Alabama with this game just because Death Valley at night, Paul
Me too.
Skeens, Livy are in the house, and Jalen Milroe proved me wrong. Now Bama might be back. We'll see. But no, great game by them.
No, Alabama wins a convincing game 42-13 against LSU. It was a pretty rainy game, so obviously not a whole lot of great passing. Garrett Nussmeier, had 2 interceptions, and that LSU offense did not stand a chance against Alabama, which was quite surprising, so to say.
I think their defense is just constantly a thing that just keeps Alabama in the running, right? Like, even with Jalen Milroe not being the best passer, even though he does have some crazy dot ability just sometimes, right? But they kind of get bailed out. They're one of those teams that's, again, that 3-pronged team that we keep talking about. But hey, Alabama, way to show up. Throw a little elephant horn up on them. I like it.
Yeah, Alabama's probably going to coast. They play Mercer next week, play at Oklahoma, and then play in the Iron Bone in Bryant-Denny Stadium. So maybe Alabama makes it to the SEC championship. Who knows? It's going to be a tight race.
All the SEC has their syllabus week next week, so everyone except we'll see about Florida State. I know they're in the ACC, but they also have a syllabus week game. We'll see what happens there.
So if it's SEC syllabus week, are we going to set the over under for crimes induced across the league at what? Let's call it over 3.5, right? Like, crazy.
How many storms will be stormed this week, next week? But no, it's a tight race. There's 6 teams: Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas A&M, Tennessee could all possibly fight for that
It's so
spot.
wide open, the
I love
SEC
it.
this year.
But I'm going to move on to my next game. We have the Big 12, and you know where to find them. Coach Prime, 21. Colorado, we're back. Our luggage, it's Louis. We coming. They win 42-20 or 41-27 against Texas Tech, and Colorado is now in the spot for the college Big 12 championship game. Matt,
I need to eat my word. I need to eat my words about Colorado. I admit, guys, I feel like half our content, half the minutes we spent on this podcast was me, voicing my disdain for Colorado.
I had a whole 3 months of just
my beginning of the season prediction: Colorado 4 wins. Well, Prime's doing a little bit better job than I thought, unfortunately.
Oh, it's perfect. Again, I will tell you that game Was a little bit of a cluster. Again, Colorado is just kind of streaky, and sometimes they can just put the pedal to the metal and just show up, right? And again, they had some defensive pieces. I loved the Shiloh Sanders interpretation of the Dion dance right at the end.
Hmm.
Like, oh, it's just man, sometimes like again, that's why they have the Instagram following. That's why people love watching this team. It's because of those little things that are just like, damn, if somebody's gonna do a fumble return, I want to watch Colorado do it, frankly. You know what I mean?
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
even the Texas Tech band posed with Shador at the end of the game. Got a picture
Yeah,
with
like
them.
come on.
That's kind of tough. That's a tough look. But no, Colorado goes down 13-0 against Texas Tech in the first quarter, but they have her win, and Shadur puts on a masterclass. Travis Hunter catches a touchdown. LaJohntay Western and Will Shepherd all catch touchdowns. And they might be looking to play BYU in the Big 12 championships games. So that's going to be very interesting to see. And they play Utah at noon, Kansas and Oklahoma State.
They should win out. They should win out.
Yeah.
Hey, Utah had some chutzpah this week. I mean, come
Oh,
on,
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
that we are indeed.
But that'll wrap up all the games I had. Jake, I'll let you take over the torch for college football.
I love it. Well, folks, I hope that you were listening to Bros in the Bleachers podcast last week because if you were, I gave out some absolute freebies. Now the problem is I didn't even listen to myself, but let's just run through those real quick. First one was South Carolina. This was a punch them in the face game. I don't know how they never die. They were leading 7-0 it was 7-0 South Carolina going into halftime, and then they won the game 28-7. Like they will just stomp on your throat if need be. Raheem Sanders had 15 carries for 100.
Lenoris.
Hey, dude, Lenoris is a dog, right? Again, Lenoris was at 14 for 20 for 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. Raheem Sanders, their running back, for 15 carries, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 receptions for 52 yards and a touchdown. So that's the heartbeat of their offense. We've been talking about him for a few weeks now. Diego Pavia, 16 to 31 for 163 yards. He did have the rushing touchdown to make it at least look a little bit nice, but at the end of the day, it was South Carolina all day long. The next game, unless anybody got anything on South Carolina, that was it was kind of a gross game.
No, I mean they play Missouri next week, so that'll be another interesting game since Missouri also had a huge game to win as well.
Well, that is a
Mhm.
perfect segue, Drew, because that was one of the 3 games that I said last week, and Missouri as well. 27 points from them in the second half. They won the game 30-23. A lot of late game heroics from Mizzou. Luther Burden had an insane late fourth quarter catch that kept them in the game. Theo Weiss had that a game tying fourth quarter catch, which was unreal. He was 4 catches for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns on the game. And then the scoop and score to seal the game from Mizzou was definitely a lot of fun to be able to watch and just them absolutely party because if some Tiger is going to win this week, at least it was Mizzou. Sorry, LSU.
Mhm.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, Jackson Arnold is not looking too hot for Oklahoma. I would
No
be
bueno.
I'd be a little surprised if he's at OU next year, to be honest. So
I wouldn't be shocked by that. The transfer portal is nuts nowadays.
Is it bad? I want to go to the back to the post where Matt said T Mac was the best receiver and go find that kid who said, "Oh, what about Luther Burden?" and then just make a comment say, "Oh, does Luther Burden have 1,000 yards?" No, even though you guys
Yeah.
are ranked and have a better record and all that stuff. But
Team Mac, I would still take Team Mac over Burden. Let's be honest. Yeah.
100%. That's why T Mac is going to be a top 5 pick. We
Yep.
we all know that.
Unfortunately, going to the Panthers, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
we don't like to see that. But hey, bear down, baby. We love it. The other game that I had on the docket, if again listening to the podcast, we went 3-0 on the predictions. Ole Miss, baby, let's go.
Hotty toddy!
Hottie toddy indeed. 28-10 win at home versus Georgia. Just chef's kiss stuff. Drew talked about it last week. That defense was unreal. They got 5 sacks on Carson Beck with an interception too.
Mhm.
Matt, I'm just gonna let you cook. Just I don't even know what's about to come, but just hit us with what you got.
Drew, I want you to start putting up the Carson Beck memes because those are beginning to become my favorite things on Twitter.
They're so
Carson-
bad. They're as bad as him.
Carson Beck during a fourth quarter late game drive, and then it's just a picture of a blowfish. So
I'll put
guys,
it at your face where your face is.
I remember back before this season, we were going over our list of underrated, overrated college quarterbacks, and I said I think at the time Carson Beck was probably one of the Heisman odds favorites back in June, July, and I'm like, look, it's Georgia. I think he's good, but I there's just something about him I don't like. I don't think he's all there, and he is now showing that. I don't know if the Cavender twin is distracting him or what, but Carson Beck is not it for Georgia, and I don't see them. I don't see them making the SEC championship game, and then who knows that? Yes, Drew, I know who knows about the playoff.
No, I mean, I don't disagree. For court, I saw a stat thing on Mel Kiper, Carson Beck, not looking too great at the start. He had him as his number one overall QB to start the season. He's now dropped all the way down to 6. He was better off probably not
I'm
playing this
surprised he's
season,
that high.
taking a gap year, and then just he probably would have been the worst, probably first overall pick quarterback in I guess since Bryce Young. Is that too mean?
Tough beat, tough beat. Hey, I will tell you, I mean, we talked to Matt, you mentioned it, right? Like we talked about at the top of the season, Georgia was going to be a good team, but Carson Beck
Mhm.
was going to be their weakest link, right? So where do you go from
Yeah,
here, right?
yeah.
Like
I mean,
it
at the most important position.
exactly. So where do you go? Because I think to Matt's point, like it is now a shaky road when everyone thought this was going to be the cupcake of cupcake years for Georgia, maybe. And it's not looking like that in college football anymore for any team, regardless, right? But Georgia
Mhm.
coming in as top dog into the year, it's nuts, man.
There's
They
4 or 5 teams that can win the SEC championship right now, and I would not put money on Georgia.
Well, they're going to play Tennessee at home in Sanford Stadium. So that game is going to decide a lot if Tennessee still hates the threshold of the SEC championship game or Georgia somehow sneaks back in. So it's going to be interesting to say the least. But is that all the games we had, Jake? No, there's one more.
No, no, no.
No, 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 my friend. In fact, if you'll let me, I do have two more, but one of them is the one that absolutely ripped my heart out this week, and that was Miami at Georgia Tech. Again, I'll do another week of apologizing to Matt, Andrew this time because you're both in the group chat. That's on me, hand up. But Miami, I don't know why we even showed up. I mean, Georgia Tech just looked like they were ready to go. And I mean, listen, like as a top 4 team, you have to prepare every single week that it
Mhm.
is going to be the other team's Super Bowl, just like Shadur said, right? And Miami was not prepared to play in Georgia Tech's Super Bowl, which was this week. And I, like them, also got punched in the face because I had a parlay of Miami -5.5 and Damian Martinez scoring a touchdown. Neither leg hit. So
If
adios to Jake Snyder's money.
if this was a game for Miami to lose, it was going to be this one. Georgia Tech's been sneaky all season. They
Yep.
have great
Yep.
defense. They run the ball down your throat. So
Yep.
it's not surprising that this Miami defense just laid down and let Georgia Tech absolutely take over. And yeah, no, excuse me, Cam Ward just didn't have his A stuff and can't have it every week. So he's
Mhm.
human,
Right.
so
Hey, totally human. And unfortunately, I bet on a human and I thought I was betting on a superhuman this week. I'll tell you that.
Who do
The
we think for the ACC if you guys had to choose right now? Because I think
does
SMU is now appearing up a bit. So
Yeah.
I still think Clemson has it now, but Miami's still in the driver's seat.
Uh, I don't know. It's a tough one. God, I would not love an SMU Clemson game.
I'm gonna
Uh,
go out and say it. I think that maybe this is the wake up call that Miami needed. So
Yes.
still give me Miami to take the ACC. I think that again, a lot of people are looking into the undefeated conference record for SMU. So it's like, oh, they've got to be top dog, right? But again, SMU kind of reminds me of a K State where they're kind of that 3-layer team. Miami just
Mhm.
unfortunately is so top heavy on their offense and is just they got nothing. They got Swiss cheese at defense, so they've got to be able to find some sort of happy medium in between.
Mhm.
I'll just put a cherry on top, but Miami Def Hurricanes defensive coordinator Lance Goudry. Yeah, you should be fired. Get him out of here. Replace. Out. Get him out of
Send them out.
get him out of Coral
Send them out.
Gables.
Drew, I'll
And
give a little prelude on what I'm going to be talking about soon, but there was a defense coordinator let go in the state of Florida today. So I'll get to
Oh.
that in a sec.
hey,
Go
I
ahead,
love it.
Jake.
And then last thing I just got to touch on, just because it was the nightcap for everybody last night, was the BYU game. BYU just winning in awesome,
Oh,
awesome fashion.
jeez.
And it was so gross, but it was so awesome as someone that took BYU. But again, they held Utah to 0 points in the second half, and that just shows that BYU has a defense that can smother teams because Utah looked pretty solid in the first half. They came out firing again, looking at they're like, oh, we're shit now. We're not going to be able
Mhm.
to do anything. This is our Super Bowl. Let's play BYU, and
Mhm.
BYU just came out and Jake Retzlaff, man.
What
Uh,
one of the most underrated rivalry games in college football.
Agreed.
I think it's top five. I mean, the atmosphere of both schools, both teams are generally pretty good.
Who's
And those
hopped more on
uniforms,
sugar at the
those
game?
yeah, who's shotgunning Mountain Dews in the parking lot?
There you
Um,
go.
but I don't know if you guys saw. So Utah's athletic director came out in the post game, absolutely ripping the refs of the Big 12, stating that he's ashamed to be part of the Big 12 conference. Well, today he was fined $40,000 for those comments.
Hate and love to see stuff like that.
Hey, he should be happy he had to deal with big Pac-12 refs, so he should
Oh
calm down
God,
his britches.
where are Pac-12 refs now? Are they at the YMCA's? Are they at
I
where are
hope
they?
so.
Mhm.
Pop Warner flag football games. That's my that's my guess.
Guarantee a parent is throwing a chair at one.
Oh yeah.
But
And then
let's
outside,
hand.
yeah,
Oh,
hand it
go
over
ahead,
to Matt.
Jake.
No,
Yeah.
that's it. Matt, take it on over.
All right. So, first game that I had on the list, Indiana, Michigan. The Hoosiers' dream season continues. They pulled out a 20-15 win over Michigan. Who would have thought that saying Michigan was a trap game for Indiana at the beginning of the season would be a true statement, but it was. Indiana's offense was held to only 20 points, but defense, did their job, albeit against a completely shit Michigan offense. IU is 10-0 for the first time ever in school history. They have a bye week this coming week, and then huge game at Columbus the following week. So expect top five matchup there. IU is up 17-3 in this one. Going in a half. Michigan comes back with a couple touchdowns. They go for two, failed that 2 point conversion. And then IU tops it off with another field goal. Curtis Rourke, the IU quarterback, transfer from Ohio U, 17 for 28, 206 yards, two touchdowns, one interception. So, guys, I cannot wait for Indiana, Ohio State.
It's gonna be so good.
Now,
Mhm.
my guess for this game is the line for the over-under will be at 43 and a half, and we're going
Oh,
under.
whoa,
I think
whoa.
the under.
Really? Okay. I actually I don't hate that too much. I do think that it might be a few more points than 43. I think with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
college football,
Hmm.
I
It's the
think
Big
that
Ten.
yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that it's probably going to be under 50, but I think it's probably going to be closer to like a 48, 49. At least it's kind of in my head. But I think the big number that I'm watching, and we talked about it last week, is I will be watching for anything Indiana plus 10. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't
what did I
Hmm.
have? Plus 17 and a half last week.
yeah. And I mean now I think that with this win, like it's probably going to be closer to like a plus 9.5 OSU or something like that. And that's
Yeah.
gross, you know. I think that
Hmm.
that's or I'm sorry, a plus 9.5 Indiana, minus 9.5
It's just
OSU,
because of their
right?
logo. It's just because of their logo.
So we'll see. Big game.
Are you guys flying in for that game? Hmm?
Oh,
Hmm?
totally. I got first
Yeah.
class to the game.
I'll
We're gonna be
PJ from Vegas to Columbus, and then to LA for the holidays. It'll just be a nice little triangle trip. It'll be perfect.
on the 50 tickets on the 50 row one
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
easy.
Oh yeah. In the bus.
Gonna be a great environment here. So then moving on, we got Army North Texas. Guys, Army now has the nation's longest winning streak in the nation,
Let's
13
go.
games. Army won 14-3. In this game, though, they trailed for the first time since November of last year, when North Texas opened up the game with a field goal, and then Army proceeds to score the next two touchdowns to win, including that 13-minute drive. Talk about a long one. So yeah, Army longest winning streak in the nation right now.
Hey
Any
Matt,
what up?
remember when our football team Arizona had the 7 game winning streak, the longest in the nation? Remember that? Wasn't that fun, guys?
You got to throw up the SpongeBob meme. It's like I remember my first dollar.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. But no, yeah, that's the armed services. Yeah,
Yeah,
elite.
salute to service, especially on this
Salute to
weekend.
service. And it's insane to say that like they haven't trailed by anything more than a field goal at any given point. Like, don't get me wrong, like Army's good and like everyone
They're
knows
good.
that like the service academies are great almost, you know what I mean? But when it comes to again winning streaks and not trailing streaks,
That's
that's
insane.
pretty insane.
Yeah, yeah, and to lose it on North Texas,
And then but then to hold North Texas to 0 points for the rest of the game, like it's unreal.
yeah. No, go Army. And then finally, Notre Dame, FSU. Guys, I know this was a blow up, but I had to throw it in. Notre Dame 52, Florida State 3. This is Notre Dame's 7th straight win after their loss to Northern Illinois earlier in the season. This 49-point loss is tied for the worst loss in FSU regular season history. So FSU, 1 win right now. Their next 2 games are Charleston Southern and then Florida to end the season. They'll probably end the season at 2-9. And then the news today that just came out within the last couple hours, Florida State has fired their offensive coordinator, Alex Atkins, and then their defensive coordinator, Adam Fuller. So starting to clear house in Florida State. I think with Mike Norvell not being fired, I guess he has some opportunity to try to fix things, but I mean, God, those message boards on 24/7 for FSU must be hell.
Yeah, that was a gross game. And I will tell you that Riley Leonard is just now constantly becoming somebody that I'm looking at for like a 2 touchdown scorer in almost every game that he plays, just because he's kind of gross. Like, I don't know why he can throw the ball that well, but then he also runs it really well. He's got a dynamic ability to him. Gives me big like Daniel Jones vibes in college.
Yes,
a little bit.
Exactly.
I don't
know.
And I don't know if that means it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm going to go ahead and rock with it's a good thing for college, bad thing for pro.
This guy has 13 on the ground touchdowns.
He be moving.
That's pretty gross if I had to say so myself, but all right. Well, Matt, any more games to touch on before we move on to our next segment?
That was it.
Well, that'll lead us into one of our favorite segments, Bell Cow of the Week. Now, what is a bell cow? Bell cow is someone who at least gets 20 carries, 100 yards, and 1 touchdown. In honor of Josh here on the podcast, Austin Genty, 34 carries, 209 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah. Let me bring you to my bell cow of the week. Trey Stewart at Jacksonville State. 34 carries. Yeah. 166 yards. Oh, yeah. Rich Rod gotta be pumped up about that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Give me 2 touchdowns coming on the ground. Hater for the Trey Stewart at Jacksonville State. Go Gamecock. Go Rich Rod. Oh, yeah.
That was electric.
Electric and giving love to Rich Rod, Drew. No one does a bell cow better.
Hey, let's bring back Rich Rod. Let's bring him back to you.
Hey, how about we don't? How about we don't?
I think better than Brett. Man.
Hey, well, on my bell cow, I don't know how I don't pick Bryson Daly because he came back from injury. Salute to service, my friends. Let's get it. 36 carries, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like Matt said, Army only scored 14 points, 2 touchdowns, Bryson Daly. I don't know. If it's a lock every week, it's a lock this week. He's a future general. He's locked in. Bryson Daly, you're my bell cow.
5-star General Bryson Daly. Yeah, back on the bell cow of the week. Give it over to Matt, bell cow of the week. What was
All right.
it? Yeah.
My bell cow of the week. I know he fell short of the 20, but he set a program record. So I had
doesn't like that.
I had to include him. Devin Neal, the running back for Kansas, 18 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, and now he is the program leader for rushing yards at the University of Kansas as they go on to beat Iowa State.
Yeah, I can feel the bell cow in my veins. Yes.
Let's go,
need
buddy.
a little spice, need a little excitement. Snap it to a bell cow. Oh, yeah. David Neal. And that'll wrap up bell cow of the week. And that'll bring us to turkey of the week.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Who choked? Who's eating overcooked turkey? I'll lead us off. Back again with Jacksonville State coming back to the to make Louisiana Tech choke big time. Louisiana Tech had an 81.8% chance of winning the game with 4 minutes and 28 seconds left. However, Rich Rod comes back and serves them up a nice cold, dry old turkey. Give me a Western Kentucky Jacksonville State Conference USA Championship game. I would love nothing more than that. That's some dry turkey that Rich Rod's serving up to Louisiana Tech. Sorry about it.
Hey, well, that is some dry turkey from La Tech right there. I will tell you that. As someone who is also a dry turkey, low key, my turkey of the week is just me. I am the turkey this week. I had a bad week in sports. Dak went on the IR, so again, bless up. It's going to be a tough Cowboys season.
Off the bone, that hamstring fall off the bone.
Yeah, that was
21-6 right now.
Yeah, great. Had Miami. I bet on Houston college basketball this week. I had
Houston.
I had Pitt college football too, and I had the Falcons money line.
Oh
so
no!
That is over a series of days. That is just a series of unfortunate events. Gobble gobble. I am.
You didn't take Pitt basketball this weekend either.
No, my friend.
They crushed. They crushed.
And they are just a phenomenal.
Against Murray State, unfortunately.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But no, I am the gobble turkey this week. Shaking my head, Brand. Not fun.
Okay, that'll lead us to Matt. Who's your turkey of the week?
Guys, the Denver Broncos had a chance to make everyone in this country outside of the state of Kansas
Gobble.
Missouri, incredibly happy. Incredibly happy this afternoon. Broncos, played a great game. Will Lutz teed up for the game-winning field goal to finally beat Kansas City in Kansas City, break that streak. And what happens? The shit gets blocked. Broncos lose. I cannot stand the Chiefs right now with that. Give me Will Lutz as my turkey of the week.
Now, I'm going to say that's a turkey where it's a deep fried turkey, but you put too much oil in and then the oil overflows and then you get a big giant grease fire.
Grease fire.
Oh, but that was painful. I wanted the Chiefs to lose. They can't keep getting
so
away with
bad.
it. Right.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed because I had Chiefs minus 2.5 in a few parlays. So them only winning by 2 is definitely like a type of moment. But listen, we had Chiefs money line and a few others. So
well, I'm glad somebody enjoyed having the Chiefs win. But that'll wrap up Turkey of the Week, and that brings us to pro football. Pro football, Thanksgiving's coming around the corner too for pro football. So who wonder who has the Thanksgiving then? Thanksgiving night game for that. But anyways, we'll go on to the pro football. Thursday night football, we had the Cincinnati Bengals take on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Ravens win 35-34 in another super climactic game. Baltimore steals and sweeps the Bengals this season.
That was one of the best recent Thursday night games in recent memory. Love that game.
No doubt. It was one of those games where I feel like going in, everyone expected big players to do really big things. I, for one, knew about the Jamar Chase game from the last time that they played, so I was definitely playing into that. Had Bengals and Jamar Chase a little parlay together. Perfect. Doesn't make up for anything that happened for this week, but definitely a nice little win on the stat sheet.
And if you had Jamar Chase in your fantasy lineup, you were stress-free all weekend.
No, Jamar Chase went absolutely off, but I know the Ravens had some injuries in their lineup. True. Kyle Hammond didn't play the game, I don't believe. I think, was it Nate Wiggins? Did he play in that game? He's there.
Well, Kyle Hamilton did play, but he got hurt.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Excuse me. But yeah, no, that Bengals. Yeah, I should just go end the show right now. No, the Ravens defensive core is just, as far as their secondary, is really not that good. So having Lamar carry them and just Lamar's just been so elite at passing this year. It's absolutely insane. He has as many touchdowns, 26 touchdowns, as he did last year in his MVP season. Crazy.
Nuts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's not two wins that the Bengals should have. I mean, both giving up both leads to the Ravens, that has to sting.
Yeah, I don't know how the Bengals are going to make their playoff push. They have to play another tough defense in the Chargers and then
Mhm.
bye and then Pittsburgh with another tough defense.
They
So,
they they
Yeah.
they ain't making the playoffs. So let's be
Nope.
real.
I don't know. I won't say it's impossible, but it's not looking too hot, so to say. Hopefully Denver, Indianapolis chokes because that'll be the next spot. But yeah, absolutely insane Thursday night game. Definitely stayed up for that. And then we go on to Germany, where the Carolina Panthers beat the New York Football Giants 20-17 in overtime.
Ed Hochuley's announcing penalties in German during the game. What a sight!
That was pretty sick.
That was probably the only sick thing that happened about this game other than
Agreed.
overtime.
Agreed.
How does the NFL keep getting away with putting the worst possible games in foreign cities?
Are
They
we
just
still mad
convinced
at?
the worst teams to do it.
It's still payback for World War II.
Frankly, I would almost bet money, and it's like in tenfold that the Panthers make more money on this one Germany game than they do at like a
Yes,
combination of many regular season games throughout the year.
I would agree with that.
Like, how bad and miserable do you have to be as a Giants fan right now? Daniel Jones throws two interceptions. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe they're gonna have to draft Shedeur Sanders. I don't know. I don't know what the game plan is for the Giants.
They're going to have to go quarterback. They just got to end
Hmm.
all of the
Hmm.
Giants fans' sufferings. You went so big on Malik Neighbors and you thought that he was going to be the weapon to help you. Guess what? Daniel Jones has always been the problem. And since the moment you drafted him, everybody called it. You got to move on at
Hmm.
some point. Rip the
Well,
band aid off.
looking at Tankathon right now, Jacksonville is to be the number one pick, and they're projected to take Travis Hunter. I don't think they move on from Trevor Lawrence. They just paid him a whole bunch of money, so
Agreed.
New
Hmm.
York will have to take Shedeur Sanders. Oh God, you Shedeur Sanders in the New York
In New York,
media.
oh my god,
Matt would be Matt would be crying every day.
I might have to leave this show.
I think that
Um,
makes a good point, though. I guess if Jacksonville really does get the first pick, they've got to go Travis Hunter, right? Like they're not going quarterback. One of the top picks is going to be quarterback or him. There's like a top offensive lineman or a defensive player this year that's like, oh, he's got to be the top talent.
mm-mm.
I'd almost put it in now that if Jacksonville gets it, it's got to be Travis Hunter, right? It's the only pick that makes
Yeah.
sense. And there's
Yep.
probably a few teams outside of the Giants where if they end up realistically getting it, Hunter's the number one pick.
Yeah, maybe they trade out of it, but could you imagine Travis Hunter throwing Trevor Lawrence under the bus when he gets to the NFL? How awful that's gonna be.
So gross.
Fair to say he's a diva, but enough spending time. I'll give a little shout out to Chuba Hubbard. He went off bell cow,
Mhm.
NFL bell cow. To Tracy Jr. Nope, sorry, Giants. You get nothing. No soup for you. Moving on to the next game, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who we just mentioned, lose to the Minnesota Vikings 12-7 in a game which I wish I could take out of my eyeballs and my memory from watching this game.
So gross.
Probably the grossest game of the week.
By
No.
far. By far.
Yes.
Dude,
The
Mac
gross.
Jones threw, I think, at least three, if not four picks. And even though he ran one in, what are we supposed to be happy
Two
about?
picks, one fumble loss,
There
Sam
we go.
Darnold, three picks.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
Disgusting.
not
touchdown.
it.
No touchdown scored for the Vikings today. All field goals.
Special teams.
Yeah, maybe. Unfortunately, they do have a field goal kicker, unlike some teams we'll get into later. But
Whoa. Whoa.
but I don't have too much to touch on about this game. I mean, there's really
Let's,
No,
anything.
let's skip it. Yeah,
That's a
it.
fly through. That was gross.
It's a truck stop game, Drew.
Yeah, I can't disagree. We go into Tampa, Florida, where the Buccaneers get crushed, their hopes crushed, losing against the San Francisco 49ers, 23-20. This was an insane game. Baker Mayfield tried everything he could possibly do and just wasn't
Mhm.
enough, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys see Debo punching his kicker and long snapper.
No, I didn't
The
see
drama,
that.
yeah. So Jake Moody missed 3 field goals today, and after
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the misses, Debo Samuel got in an altercation with the long snapper.
Wow.
Imagine
I didn't see
fighting
that.
your long snapper.
Jeez.
Um, I think he should be fist fighting Jake Moody because holy my God. Apparently the announcer said he had it coming off an injury, but I mean,
Yes.
he would
Yes.
have been better off having him rest a whole nother week because he
Yeah.
nearly lost him that game
Yeah.
Hey, he made
completely.
it when
But
it
listen,
counted, though. He made it.
I was just gonna say there were kickers this week, like you just alluded to, that missed a lot of kicks and didn't get an opportunity to make the big kick, right? Jake Moody missed kicks, but at least he made it, man. That's all that people are gonna remember.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we have Christian McCaffrey come back. He had a not so bad game for his first game back. He had a decent rushing and receiving day. Ricky Pearsall had his first touchdown, career touchdown in the game, so
That
that
was
was
cool.
something to be happy about as far as anything in that game. Then we got to move on to the New Orleans Saints beating the Falcons 20-17. Oh, I'm gonna go right at Jake, Mr. New Orleans Saints hater. What do we have to say for the most fun division in the NFL?
What the hell, dude? I mean, I don't get it. Like you're coming off of 7 straight losses. You got a rookie head coach. Your team is hurt as dog shit. Everyone on Twitter is saying, "Oh, Marquez Valdez-Scantling is going to be on the Saints, and it's going to be the best thing for their offense." Whatever. I'm sitting there like, okay, that is not your saving grace. Whatever. Hi, jackass, right here. So again, I found a random stat just because the rookie head coach thing. Since 2000, rookie head coaches, not including this game, are 16-21 straight up. So in my head, I'm sitting there like, all right, well, the Falcons are number 1 in the conference. It's a
Mhm.
conference game to begin with. Rookie head coaches are bad, and the Saints are hurt. This should be a dog walk. You know what I mean?
Should be
But
a lock.
should have been the lock, and that was my lock of the day. And I clearly broke that lock. But 1-0 for rookie head coaches to start off the year when they're being replaced and coming in an interim role. And again, they remember your name when you make the kicks. You don't want them to remember your name when you miss the kicks, and that is what's going on with Young Wei Koo.
Oh my
Uh,
God,
Hmm.
dude.
bro, he
Hmm.
sold me out. I had the Falcons at -5.5. So if he makes, let's call it 3 out of the 4 that he missed,
Hmm.
I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm in Greentown. Let's party. But no, poor clock management by the Falcons at the end to give them an opportunity to tie it. Didn't end up working out too well. Man, Saints. I please don't tell me that this is the climb back. I just don't. I don't want to hear that. You know.
I don't know if the Saints could climb back out of the hole. They play if they lose to Cleveland, I mean, maybe they beat Cleveland, I don't know. They have the bye and then they have an okay schedule like Rams, Giants, Commanders, Packers, Raiders, Buccaneers, but I don't know. That was a probably a win you didn't want because you probably want to tank. That's my guess, but
Hmm.
what do I know? But Bijan Robinson had a elite game, wasted 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, another NFL bell cow. And Kirk Cousins should probably pretend he's playing against the Buccaneers because that's like the only time he can ever play well. So,
It's crazy. So crazy.
and that'll lead us to our next game in the Denver Broncos losing 16-14 against the Kansas City Chiefs after Will Lutz, as Matt alluded to earlier, getting his field goal blocked. And the Chiefs somehow get away with it yet again.
Again.
So sick.
It's disgusting. I don't understand it. I mean, it was bow time. I was so ready to play
Hmm.
There Goes My Hero by shit. What the fuck is that
Foo
band
Oh,
Fighter.
name?
Foo
Foo
Fighters. Foo
Fighters.
good
Fighters.
Foo
fire. Good,
Fighters.
good job, Jake. Good job.
Yeah, I was ready to play There Goes My Hero for Bo Nix by the Foo Fighters, but sadly that got ripped out of my palms.
Tough beat. And I mean, obviously, we everyone saw it. It's going to be on Twitter. It's been on Twitter. Everyone's going to know about it, right? The couple of notes that I had from this game, Travis Kelce now becomes the all-time touchdown receiver for the Chiefs.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
whoa.
Yeah. So again, I mean, the guy's been doing it. I think that everybody has been slandering on him a little bit just for the lack of production. But guess what? Team is winning, and that's all that really matters, right? And then the other fantasy report that I'll have, just as a Cortland Sutton owner, just over here, hi, me in the corner. Dude, he's so fun to watch. He had the throwing touchdown last week. He just gets open. He's so dotty. It's like, oh, I love it. And to your point, I thought it was bow time too, because now it seems like he's got a couple of receivers that he
Mhm.
really feels confident in being able to throw to and get some, really interesting routes that they've been trying to run lately in Denver. And shit, I mean, they almost had him. They almost had the Super Bowl winning champs right there.
I think if they can build on this year, keep the off, have the offense elevate its talents a little bit more, and then keep the defensive core as it is, they're going to be a really good team.
For
Hmm.
sure.
Uh, but yeah, that's really all I had. Let's go to the Buffalo Bills beating the Indianapolis Colts 30-20. Josh Allen is sick.
Oh yeah, unreal.
MVP potentially, even though he threw two
Hmm.
picks. But he had a rushing touchdown, Jake.
Hey, he did have a rushing touchdown. That's a perfect segue into the note I was going to mention. Josh Allen became second all time for Buffalo in rushing TDs. Actually, after that rushing touchdown,
Dude,
you guys want
what?
you guys want to take a guess at who is number one for the Bills
Thurman
all time in rushing?
Thomas.
Ding, ding, ding. That did not take any time at all. You want to guess at how many rushing touchdowns Josh Allen is away? It's not too many. So
Uh,
Get
15.
20.
it's actually only eight for him to tie.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wow, that's
So
insane.
I was gonna say Josh Allen might do that this season. I
He
know
might. Yeah.
that's a lot of rushing touchdowns for him. I think over a series of what there's probably 8, 9 weeks left, something like that. So
Yeah.
maybe expected if they go deeper into the playoffs that we see that record get broken. But I thought that was a cool little note. And I don't know why I didn't put Buffalo first half in every parlay that I had. I mean, I just got they're the better team. Indianapolis is just not great. I mean,
Hey, they're still kind of a lead in my eye.
I mean, I think that what it comes down to is I think that their culture is just really in a weird rocking point. Like, obviously, all of this Anthony Richardson stuff has got to be, the first time that most of these players are dealing with this issue. And Joe Flacco, I think, is definitely a great saving grace for a couple games. But as we start to compound it over week, that's not your solution, right? So again, this was Bills by a million, in my opinion.
A look ahead disgusting game. The Colts play the Jets. That'll be disgusting. That's all I have.
Speaking of Jets, at the time of the recording, Arizona is up now 31-6.
Diabolical.
Absolutely annihilation. And then we go to a game that I didn't watch at all, and the New England Patriots beat the Chicago Bears 19-3. Um, did you guys watch this game? Because Red Zone
I
did not show it at all.
I have to admit, I didn't watch a second.
I have to admit, I did watch the game.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, no, again, it was one of those games where I don't think that anybody really wanted to be watching it. They shouldn't really had a single screen on it. I was just kind of checking in just because I had a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown that I was looking in on. But outside of that, I mean, that game was
Um,
terrible.
Caleb Williams might be the next David Carr because he got sacked 9 times against a
Yep.
Patriots defense, which I mean they're led by Gerard Mayo, obviously a very good linebacker in his day. Um, yeah, I don't know what the Bears do. This is the You're in a tailspin right now. You absolutely
Mhm.
get heartbreaked against Washington. You had Arizona defeat you pretty handily, and then you lose to a really bad New England team.
Right.
Uh, yeah. What's the Eberflus? Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
hot seat time.
It
I listened
is.
to another show, but Big Cat always cries about they're not going to fire him. They're not going to fire him. Chicago's too cheap. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know how you don't fire him after this like 3 game performance, and they play Green Bay next week.
Yeah, and I mean, frankly,
RIP.
we've been seeing a lot of stuff in the Bears locker room too. I don't know if you guys saw the stuff that was going on with DJ Moore last week, but there was,
Yes. Sitting
dude,
by himself and stuff.
yeah, there was things where he's like sitting by himself. But on top of that, I saw that there was a play where he's on the left side and he's running a route,
Hmm.
and he basically gets
Hmm.
pushed towards the sideline. And
Hmm.
while Caleb Williams still has the ball, DJ Moore is walking to the bench and is like
And
sitting on the
yeah.
bench while the play is still
Yeah.
going on. And
That
DJ
is
still has an opportunity to
wild.
throw. How are you not cut? And I get it. You're a multi-million dollar man, but that in the NFL, that at really any level is
Dude, that
unacceptable.
in college would be insane.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on in their locker room, but I think that Eberflus, to your point, Drew, I don't know if he's the next guy out, but he's one of the next guys out.
I
Yeah.
mean, I said it at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
You should have got rid of him as soon as you could and got like a real coach. They have a chance to probably lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next 6 games, make it a losing 9 game streak because they play 5 in division games and they play San Francisco. So
Tough.
oh, yeah. The Bear stonks went from up to down. So I think we should leave it at that. And then I'll go to my game. So close yet. So damn it. Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Commanders 28-27 in a bullshit game. I have a lot to get off my chest, so I'll let you guys go first.
No, I mean, Drew,
Ru-
run it. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
Russell
gonna
Wilson has unlocked George Pickens. I'm sorry, but
fuck
he
George
has.
Pickens. I'm gonna go off my thoughts throughout the game. Soft penalties by the refs in the first quarter. Jeremy Chin hitting Russell Wilson didn't even land on him. They called that roughing the passer. That was pathetic. The Steelers defense was really good. I hate George Pickens. F these refs. The Steelers in the first quarter with a fake punt pass. Oh my god! And that guy, that got let Pierre drop the pass because he was looking upfield. So that was huge. And then we got their ball on their own 10-yard line and scored with Eckler, which was marvelous. Zacchaeus, you absolutely effing moron, muffs the punt and leads to a Fryermuth touchdown. So that was. I don't think Jalen for the first half was a little bit shaky. I think that Steelers defense was getting to him a little bit. Didn't have as many completions, and then starting to wear down the defense in the second half. Terry McLaurin had such a sick like basket touchdown to like the
oh yeah.
sideline. Terry
Mhm.
McLaurin is so back. He's so ready to be elite. Dante Fowler Jr., pretty good pickup for us this year. I think he had 2 sacks in this game. Coverage does well in the second half until later. Interception by Jeremy Chin, moonball, suck at Russell Wilson, Terry McLaurin. Oh my God. And then I hope Benjamin St. Juste never sees another football field after this season because he is so
Mm.
bad. He is so bad. I'm so sick of him. You're 6'3". Like, keep up with these players. Another terrible Ron
Hey,
Rivera
hey,
pick.
hey, Jake, you know how they say never look at a girl's notes app on her phone? We should not look at Drew's notes app on
I
his
like that.
phone.
I
I'm
like
almost
that.
done. I'm almost done.
Oh,
And
it
then
keeps going.
and this is a CVS receipt of game
Oh,
notes.
nice. Okay.
Yeah. And then a bullshit spot by the refs that Zach Ertz should have had that fourth down conversion and ruins our 11 for 11 fourth down conversions on the season. Absolute insanity. So now 11 for 12, thanks. And that's all I had. And
Mm.
our rookie Newton out of Illinois got caught off sides on a 4th and 1 and then pretty much sealed the game for the Steelers. We should have won.
You hate to see it. At least you
That
like to
was a
see your
great.
team competitive, though.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I know I can't be too upset, but I was so close to being so right on that prediction, Jake. What did I call it? 5-1, and now that
Yep.
was 4-2.
Yep.
Damn, it's so close. But we'll go ahead and get out the afternoon sake games out of the way. Chargers win 27-17. Sorry, Titans. Justin Herbert, this team, and Jim Harbaugh are just rolling, well-oiled machine.
Yeah, they are. I mean, again, the Titans, I don't
Mhm.
think anybody was expecting much out of them. Sorry.
No.
Nope. I think the Chargers did cover. How about that? 8.5. We go on to the live game right now. Jets Cardinals. Cardinals winning still 31-6. Jets are 3rd-3 at the Arizona 10. Maybe they score to make it not as
Mm.
painful in the wounds. Who knows? Aaron Rodgers has no touchdowns, no picks. Brees Hall 52 yards. Kyler Murray looking pretty good. Not too bad. Cardinals are still on the up and up. Stonks.
Mhm. When does the new Call of Duty come out, or is it already out?
It's been out.
Oh,
Black
all
Ops
right.
6.
Okay.
Kyle Murray will have a bunch of time to play it on the bye this week. So, and they play a
Hell
not
yeah.
so good Seattle team. I'll go to the next game and where Philadelphia is pouring it on 31-6 against Dallas. 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Cover your ears, Drake. Cover
Earmuffs, earmuffs.
earmuffs. Oh, Jake's gone. He's gone.
I'm so sad.
I mean, it's well, I mean, what can you do?
I know. It's just it. That's why I was the turkey this week. Dak went on the IR. It'd be like that.
Um, do you want me to go into any other look
No,
ahead
I
for the
no,
Cowboys?
I no, we're good.
Cool. Well,
Maybe.
I'll do it for the Eagles since Josh isn't here. We play
Sick.
them on a
Thanks.
we both play them on a short week and Thursday night. They go to Lincoln Financial to play them. Any predictions for that game? This is probably the one of the better games, like, potentially. Big
I
matchup.
think I think the Eagles have finally found the groove. Sorry, I think the Eagles are going to win that
Get out
one.
of the show, Matt. Get out.
I know.
Scram, shoot.
I'm sorry, but
Scram.
they are cooking. The beginning of the season was a bit of a struggle, but Jalen Hurts has found it. So
Yeah, again, I think that the Eagles' defensive struggles, or I should say, they're a little bit spotty when it need to be. So again, or Commanders could easily come in and be able to cause a little bit of havoc, but it could be an Eagles stomping. But give me a close game. Give me
Oh,
a close
don't
game.
come on. Stomping?
It
we'll
could
take
be.
the
I'm just
over.
saying,
I'll take the over on the points.
could
Oh, is that
be.
right? You'll take the over? Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. Makes me feel a little bit better. Um, I hope we win. I wish Josh was here so we could bicker and fight each other because it's going to be a really good game, I hope. But
Dogfight.
I'm still having the back of my mind of getting absolutely crushed by the Eagles on prime time. So I don't know what to think. I'm just going to say we win because we've actually have a pretty decent team, but I don't know how we stop Jalen
Gotta
Hurts.
believe. Gotta believe.
I just think we have to make Jalen Hurts turn the ball over. How that is, I don't know. And that'll lead us into the last two games. We have the Sunday night game. Detroit rolls into Houston. Detroit is a 3.5 point favorite, and the over-under is at 49.5. Thoughts?
This is going to be a great game if you love
I don't
offense.
know.
And
Maybe.
the uniform combination on this game, Houston debuting, they're all
Yeah.
reds for Sunday night. I'm excited. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
There we go.
And Carrie Underwood.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, you always
Uh,
have to throw that in.
yeah, I'll be. What's the over under, Drew?
49.
Whew.
Well, actually, it's on Yahoo Sportsbook at BetMGM for me. It's 49 or 49.5, which I don't know. I think it's 49. 49, 49. Let's call it 49.
I don't know about the over under in this one. I think that again, the Texans defense isn't anything that we've really been scoffing at too much this year, and their offense is just, hold out now with all the injuries. So I'm gonna go with Lions cover, but I'm gonna go with under 49. And I think that might be a bad pick, but that's when I typically do my best work. So I'm gonna rock with that.
Let's see. I do believe Nico Collins is out, so he's not going to be playing. There was some speculation that he could hope to play this game, so that leads me to believe that the Detroit covers and it will be the under as well because the Lions are going to stomp the Texans face in, unfortunately.
All right, Drew, let's ride. Let's see what's up. Matt, what do you
Yep.
got?
Hmm. This is very tough because I was looking at this game earlier. Definitely take the over and the points, but I don't know who's going to win. It's
We have to
very
pick
hard.
somebody.
If I because I have money on them winning the Super Bowl right now, in one of my bets, I'll probably take Detroit, but I'm not confident in it.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a great close game.
So Detroit in the over for Matt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're house divided a little bit on the over under, but that's okay. So let's go on to the Monday night game. The Miami Dolphins travel all the way to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. We have the line currently at 2.5. Rams over under 49 again, surprisingly.
I'm gonna run it back. I'm going Rams in the under.
I'm
Okay.
going Rams as well in the under. Yeah. Sorry, Jake. I'm copying you.
Hey, that's fine. Hopefully I'm a lock.
And for Tua to start wearing the concussion proof helmet.
He's not the Guardian cap.
I think I'm gonna be disgusting, and I don't know why I like Miami. I don't know why I do,
Okay.
but I think I'll take Miami in the points, and I think I'll also take the over. So,
All right. Look at
but
you.
but this Rams team's so good now. They're back, and hopefully Puka doesn't punch Jalen Ramsey in the face or something like that this game.
Mhm.
Right. Let's avoid any fist fights.
Right. But that'll wrap up the NFL for the week, and we go on to our current events for the week. So I'll lead us off like always. In hockey, Alexander Ovechkin is on an absolute tear. He's about 31 goals away from the record held by Wayne Gretzky at 894. He's at 863 currently. He has 10 goals since October 19th. Dylan Strome, forward center for the Capitals, has assisted on all 10 goals for Alexander Ovechkin. This hasn't been done since Nicholas Backstrom from 2010 to 2012 season when they were absolutely just dominating, winning President's trophies. Um, so I think Alexander Ovechkin gets the goal record this year. I'm gonna call it, make it happen. OV, the Caps, go Caps, go. Those are
Okay,
my
I
current
like it.
bets for the week.
I want to say how many like there's the game comparison that's starting to become relevant in that too between Ovechkin and Gretzky, right? Like I think it's Ovechkin has what like 50 games under or something like that of Gretzky's total that he did it. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of it,
Something
the
like
games that it,
that.
yeah. So I don't know.
That's a
I
good
mean,
question.
yeah, I'd be very curious to see if he gets like really, really hot and he starts doing it, in a faster streak than Gretzky. But I think that he gets it done either way.
Yeah, Capitals have been good to me this season, unlike last year because we had an absolute overhaul with new players. Offense is sick. Very happy with what I've seen, but I'll lead it off to Matt. Matt, what are your current events for the week?
College basketball is in full swing, and Ryan Kalkbrenner from on Creighton had the game of his life against University of Texas Rio Grande. 49 points, 20 for 22 from the field, 2 for 2 on three-pointers, 7 for 8 on the free throws, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks. He went absolutely nuclear. He was a Big East preseason player of the year, but I think Kalkbrenner has I mean, at least in the earlier part of the season, has stamped his name as one of the players to watch going forward. Creighton's a great team. I think that Big East is going to be UConn Creighton. So that's going to be a fun race, but just an insane performance. He shot 91% from the field, and that was the highest field goal percentage in a 45-point game by any D1 player, D1 player in the past 25 seasons.
Insane.
So, yeah, insane game from Kalkbrenner. Um,
Well,
guys,
can I mention something on Cal Brenner that he's probably the slowest player I've ever seen, like
Oh
score
yeah.
49 points. He's so slow.
Big
but
Zach, you got to do a track race between Zach Edey, him, and then like Jokic and see who wins that one out.
oh my God.
Yeah, just watch. It feels like I'm watching slow mo. But even like with Zach Edey, I feel like he was. I mean, their
Yeah,
games are a little
he's
bit different, but he's just so slow. Just even him shooting a
Mhm.
3-point shot was just.
oh yeah.
I don't know.
Well
He's just
that
efficient, Drew.
I mean,
yeah,
you're not.
But
No, I totally agree. It's just maybe when more athletic teams come in, who knows? But I'm rooting for the guy. I'm rooting for him.
what are you gonna
very
say,
true.
Drew or Jake?
And well, Kalkbrenner, three-time defensive player of the year. If he wins the fourth one, he'll be one of the I think he's be the only player of all time to be able to win it 4 years in
That's
one
crazy. That's
awards.
crazy.
That'd be insane.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, yeah. So look for Crane to really, really challenge UConn this year. So that'll be a fun race to watch. Guys, Saquon's backwards hurdle.
Nope,
Can
that
we
was
just
last
talk about
week.
that?
Too
Can
bad.
we
Can't
just talk?
talk
No, no, no,
about
no, no,
it.
no,
Nope, nope, nope,
no.
nope, nope. Fine, go
How? How does
ahead.
he do that? How? How is
Yeah, that's
that possible?
disgusting. All I know is that the Nike ad where it had the witness and it was all listed backwards. I don't know if you guys saw that went
Mhm.
viral with the backwards hurdle, but again, just killer marketing when these things go on.
Yes. Yes. The hurdle heard around the world. That's
I
what
th
we should start
I
calling
think
it.
that's
I
a
mean,
shirt Josh should probably get, and it's always sicker that it was even in the Kelly Greens too.
Oh yeah,
Hey, what's better, the Kelly Greens or the Giants throwbacks?
definitely Kelly
Oh,
Green. Not a question.
Kelly's.
Oh, I don't
Not
know.
a
I don't
question.
New
know.
York
Not a
Giants
question.
Yes,
throwbacks?
yes, yes. I love their classics.
The one
No,
that started out the
give me,
season,
yes,
game one this year, the red and
yes, give me,
black, red and
yes.
blue.
No, it says the Giants on the helmet. You know what I'm
Nope.
talking about, right?
I know
Oh,
I know
they
what you're talking about, but no.
Give me Giant. I mean, those greens are great, but I'm
well,
sorry.
Jake and I hate both teams with the
Did did
great
did
passion.
Mark
So,
Wall didn't Mark Wahlberg wear the greens, Drew? And Invincible. Remember that movie?
oh, Mark Wahlberg, Kelly Greens, Philadelphia Eagle. Yeah, totally, Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, yeah. And the Funky Bunch. Stupid.
Oh man.
Um, but yeah, yeah. If Josh was here, he'd be just all over himself, loving himself. That'll wrap up current events. Move on to our bench replay. what we saw that was benchable or playable. I'm gonna play this week. Logan Thompson, goalie for the Washington Capitals, had such a sick goalie helmet. He had Nick Cage from National Treasure.
So sick.
I thought it was pretty dope. You don't. I just also every time I think about, I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. And then my bench, that even though Jake, you had so much to cheer about this Dodgers championship, this girl, Dodger fan, who got probably one of the worst tattoos of the Freddie Freeman home run.
I saw that.
Can we agree that's a terrible tattoo?
Yeah, that's a bench.
Not bet. That's a big bench of a tattoo. It's just like pencil line, like, oh, here are the numbers, and then like Freddie Freeman, like a pet, like you drew with a pencil line out of. It was terrible.
It was supposed to give a little bit of homage to like how you would book it on like a true like,
No,
game
yeah,
stat
score
sheet. But
sheet, yes.
yeah, but
Mhm.
to your point, a little cringe.
And that leaves us to Jake. Who are we benching? Who are we playing this week? What do we
All
think?
right. Well, Drew, you had a bench in the world of baseball. I will also be benching in the world of baseball. Breaking news: the Reds checked in with Juan Soto.
Ah,
What? Like, I don't know if you guys saw the tweets, and
watch
Drew, hopefully you
out.
throw it up, but watch out. I also checked in with Ano de Armas. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, no. Again, the Rays. It's funny that Juan Soto even took the meeting. I think is the big question that we needed to have. There's why and whatnot. Hopefully, at least he
What
got
money do they have? They have to pay for a whole new roof.
right. So again,
Oh, Drew, that was low. Oh.
Am I
it,
wrong?
they do. They definitely do.
Are
But
they
that
gonna
was my
sell more
bench.
orange juice around different parts of Tampa to get the money? Tropicana, baby.
I mean, how like their payroll, like how many years? How many years has it been the lowest? Like they always rely on like their great farm system, but could you imagine Juan Soda in a Devil Rays jersey though?
Ew,
No,
ew.
I can't.
What? You wouldn't like that? Like the
No.
throwback one at least, City Connect?
Oh, I mean, yeah, the actual jersey would be sick, but no, I don't want to see him in a Rays uniform. No, 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 no.
Inside the Rays stadium, dude. They need to get rid of that stadium. They need to
They're
change it. It
they're
is,
they're they're supposed to get a new
yeah, that's what I
stadium.
thought. Yeah, but it is horrid.
Yeah, I can't come soon enough, unfortunately. That'll bring us to Matt. Venture play this week.
All right, I have a play. Guys, I know we kind of talked about it earlier, but I am so excited for this 12-team playoff in college football, all for the sole fact that I think any 12 teams you could put it in there, it could be pure chaos, and any one of them could get to the Final Four. I mean, this season is just going to be insane with that not one dominant team absolutely running the table. I can't wait for it.
It's so exciting that it's just not just four teams that, oh, great, it's Ohio State, it's Georgia, it's Bama, it's Clemson. Like, finally,
I think
finally.
I think when the brackets come out, we should do a show and each of us does our little bracketology for the 12 and
Didn't
goes through that.
didn't they bring out like the preliminary like bracket what
Yeah,
if?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that'd be fun. I don't see why we can't do that here on the show.
I'm with it. I'm going to call it right now. There's going to be an upset from one of these big teams when we have that
They're well
12th
done. They're
bracket.
they're well done.
Matt, we
Yep.
should make a really bad one on Twitter and see how many people we can piss off. Like a really bad one.
In the national championship, should we just put Shador's hand with the watch in the slot?
Oh my God, we made it Shador Sanders. That'd be, oh, we definitely need to do that.
Can Colorado make the playoff?
Who
If
cares?
they
It's the
win, if they
worst.
win,
They win the Big
Oh
12.
yeah, if they win the Big 12, yeah.
God damn it.
They'll get a anywhere up from a 4 seed and beyond.
Please BYU, please save me. If there's a year where Colorado makes a playoff and the Chiefs make the Super Bowl again, I'm done. I'm done.
I'm just more pissed that the Chiefs somehow figure out to win a game and just not cover. That's what I'm pissed about. I'll be fine if they actually cover. That's okay with me. But and that'll wrap up Venture Play. We go into worst best tweet. Best tweet I saw today was Adam Schefter tweeting Marshawn Lattimore traded from the Saints to the Commanders. It feels weird to be a buyer during the season and players actually wanted to come to my franchise for once. So
I bet.
that's refreshing. Yeah, you would know Mr. Dallas Cowboy. Everybody wants to go play for the Cowboys. Maybe not currently at the moment. I mean, that's injuries and plagued, but Yeah, that was sick. And then I guess my worst tweet because of the proceedings after Jordan Binnington, goalie of the St. Louis Blues, had an insane six stave. He was getting a puck in the corner, and a Capitals player come in hot with a wide open net, but somehow Jordan Binnington gets that stick out just in time. Uh, to at least that was something to cheer about because he then later got shelled and the Capitals put up 8 goals. So woof. Worst. Not too hot for the St. Louis Blues, but I'll hand the torch off to Jake. Worst best tweet.
Well, in my worst tweet, or I'm sorry, worst is in best because it was just so disgustingly good, if you will, is the Freeman
Rolls
fit check,
Royce.
the fit check that I saw this week. Drew, I'll have you put it here. But did he have the script? Because again, this was a close game. Royce Freeman. I mean, listen, that was a. I don't know if I could put together a fit like that. So again, hopefully people saw they see what's going on here. But uh,
Hey, that could have been your Halloween outfit.
you're right, could have been.
It's
Yeah,
kind of similar in a way, right?
yeah, no, that actually would have been pretty solid. I got it. That's good. I'll store that. But next one in terms of a best tweet that I saw is Diego Pavia's mom being interviewed at the Vanderbilt game, and then just the comments went wild. Mama Mia, more like Mama Pavavia. Am I right? Anyways,
That's definitely Matt's definitely in those comments.
yes, he
Hey,
is.
hey, let's not always assume things. Come on, guys.
Oh yeah, no, wow. How would I ever assume such a thing? Mr. Livy Dunn bringing up at the LSU game
Right.
earlier.
Well, hey, that's all I got on my side. But Diego Pavia's mom, hit Matt up.
Matt, your worst best tweet. I'm not ready for your tweet.
Guys, I'm sorry. We had a huge loss in sports this week. This is the worst tweet of the week. Ben Herbstreit, Kirk Herbstreit's beloved golden retriever, passed away at the age of 10 due to cancer. He was getting treated at the Ohio State, just down the street from me. It's sad to see a good boy go. So R.I.P. Ben. One of the fluffiest
I was
goldens
gonna
I've ever
say
seen.
he looks
I
so
know.
fun to
I
pet.
know. Yeah, we're gonna miss seeing Ben on game day. All right, moving on to something more funny. The best tweet, guys, during the Texas Tech game. I I I don't know why student sections are now doing this. So when they get a call they don't like, they're just gonna start throwing trash on the field. So that's now a trend. Maybe they'll
Yeah,
put
let's
that in
go.
maybe they'll put that in the update
Full
for
beer
the
cans
college
only.
football. Yeah, maybe they'll update it in the college football video game where trash will be
Something
thrown
with Texas,
on.
something with these teams in Texas, man. Just
I
low
know. They
class.
just can't control themselves. So I forgot exactly what the call was, but it led to Tech fans throwing stuff on the field. And then the Texas Tech coach grabs a PA mic and just starts screaming at fans and begging them to stop throwing trash on the field. I love college football. Let's go.
Hey, so off of that, one of the things that I saw from that Colorado game is of the things that they were throwing, most of them were tortillas. And then after the game, Shador
Oh
took
my
one of those
God.
tortillas and signed a tortilla and gave it to
Oh,
somebody.
yeah. Yeah. Again, the best sport ever created.
Oh, it's just so good.
Now, let me ask you to this. Now, obviously, this is terrible. This is really terrible that people throw trash on the field, right, guys? This is really bad.
Horrid.
What's worse? And what's worse, throwing trash on a basketball court or on the football field? What do you guys think?
Basketball court by far, I think. It's
Yeah.
harder to clean up.
Well,
Oh, my favorite.
there's less room on a
That's right.
basketball court, so it's probably harder
So
to
wait,
do a football
wait,
field,
wait.
right?
Can we ask Ron Artest?
Oh my God.
There's nothing more than I love when people start throwing trash on a basketball court, and then you see the guy with the mops like really going at it. It's
Right. Hey, everyone on the team matters.
Right.
Hey, I was once a ball boy. I did that crap on the court. I mopped a bunch of courts at McHale.
Oh God, I would love to have thrown trash at Matt's head. I'm just kidding. Here's my prickly pear lemonade at your head. But that'll wrap up worst or best tweet, and we move our top 5 Bleacher rankings, top 5 college mascots.
Here we go.
So let's go off with. I'll lead us off. Honorable mentions first. My honorable mention, the Demon Deacon at Wake Forest.
So good.
I think
Oh,
he's pretty sick. He rides out a
he's a sick
motorcycle.
costume. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. Rides out on a motorcycle onto the football field. Uh, maybe if Wake Forest gets better, he can get some more love. I feel like he's always in like those Enterprise commercials.
Hmm.
I feel like he's just an iconic mascot. So that's my honorable
Yeah,
mention.
it's a good one.
All
Matt?
right.
Oh,
Oh,
Jake, go.
Matt, go for it. Keep the order. Keep the order.
So my honorable mention, I didn't want to be a complete homer, so I just was going to stick him in the honorable. Give me Wilbur the Wildcat. Just it's not just a good looking mascot, great colors, not one of those creepy ass Wildcat looking ones. Just Wilbur's great. So give me Wilbur, U of A.
I love it. And in my honorable mention, just because, again, I remember being a very young college football fan, watching games for the first time and remembering what a mascot was for the first time. The Stanford Cardinal tree is one of the ugliest but most iconic
Yes,
mascots
yes.
around. The world's weirdest tree, if you will. Give me the Stanford Cardinal as my honorable mention.
Yeah, I just the eyes. It's the eyes and the mouth that just make it so
Hmm.
bad. But
Hmm.
so great somehow. I don't know. I don't get it.
That's what I'm saying.
Might have to look in the lore of the Stanford Cardinal tree for whatever reason. So my number five, give me my number five is Big Al from the University of Florida. I think he's one of the most iconic mascots. You always see him doing the chomp on the sideline. He's just a cute mascot. I'm sure everybody loves to take pictures with him. So give me Big Al from University of Florida.
My number five, kind of a dark horse, but I think one that doesn't get talked enough. The Masked Rider from Texas Tech. Just that whole bandit costume, the cape, the all black cape coming out, riding out on that horse. It looks great, and I don't think it gets talked about enough. But I just love everything. I like Texas Tech's colors, their guns up thing. Give me the Masked Rider.
I like it. And in my number five, I will be taking the Penn State Nittany Lion. Gets the people fired up. Again, very awkward looking mascot costume, but that's why
Yeah,
it just fits so well into the feel of what they're going for in Happy Valley. So give me the Penn State Nittany Lion as my five.
Penn State mascot looks like it got created when Penn State first came to college, whenever that
Yep,
Hmm.
was.
100% hasn't changed.
Yeah, maybe they should have looked into updating it. And through the 20th century, that's just my opinion.
Hmm.
My number four, give me Sebastian the Ibis from University of Miami. An elite mascot. There's nothing more sick than seeing Sebastian run through the smoke at through with the Miami Hurricanes. Um, he's just an iconic mascot, I think. Always throwing up the U. He always has like the turnover chain, at least in recent years. So give me Sebastian the Ibis from University of Miami.
That's a great pick.
Hmm. All right. My number four. Give me the UN Ramses, the UNC Tar Heel mascot. I just think like the color and the ram looks great. A classic that's been around for a long time. Give me the Ramses.
How come it says UNC have a foot mascot? There's just like a big foot with a face on it.
Nah, that'd be too easy. Well, in my four, a mascot that got a ton of points this weekend from my side, even though their team did not, is Mike the Tiger from LSU. On college game day, I don't know if you guys saw, he walked out in a white beater and ripped it all the way off, and he had a chain on, and he was just doing his thing. And again, Mike the Tiger gets the people going. Give me Mike the
Mhm.
Tiger at my four.
See, Mike the Tigers are always a good mascot. Uh, let's go with my number three. My number three, give me Cosmo the Cougar from BYU.
Oh, great mascot.
I'll touch on it a little bit, but this guy's athleticism each year in out is
Insane.
insane. Always puts on the best performances. So
Unreal.
give me Cosmo the Cougar at my number
Dude, can you
three.
imagine the tryouts to be Cosmo? They have to be wild.
101.
I saw a video of him. I guess it was during a basketball game, but they had a bunch of like like tables, like those foldable
Yeah.
tables, and he was like pushing up each one. It was insane.
No, that's wild. All right,
DA.
my number three. This one has won over the internet, the Twitter memes of the world. Big Red Western Kentucky University, just the most fun, dorky looking costume that just brings smiles to everyone's faces. I love Big Red. Let's go.
Well, there we go, Matt. Because with my number three, I'll also be rocking with Big Red because he's just
Whoa!
one of the most iconic mascots. Again, when we talk about weird looking mascots that just for some reason there shouldn't be the shape that they are, but they just work so damn well. Give me Big Red at my number three as well.
Dang, dang. Okay, good number threes, guys. Not too bad. My number two. Give me Big Red. Number two. Let's go. Big Red from Western Kentucky. I mean, like you guys said, how could you not love this guy? I mean, he looks like Grimace, but red. He's goofy. He's funny. I mean, I love how much the university has just like gone in with all in on Big Red with putting him
Full
on the
force.
helmets.
Yep.
I just love his googly eyes. Give me Big Red at my number two.
My number two, one of my all-time favorites. Give me Puddles. This offseason, you see the big puddles floating down the rivers of Big Ten country at different stadiums. Puddles coming out of their motorcycle. Puddles flirting with the college game day host. He's an all-timer. Like, there's not many better mascots than Puddles, especially when he comes out on that motorcycle.
Well, Matt, I don't know what the fuck we're both drinking right now, but Puddles is my number two as well. Let's rock and roll. I'm with it. But to everything and more that you just said, again, he's on every different show. He's going across every different media. When you talk about a mascot that's breaking it beyond just college football and is getting out there, arguably the best one that does it right now. So give me Puddles at my number two as well. Do it, Drew. I dare you.
Do
You
it.
won't.
My number
You
one.
won't. You won't. You won't.
My number one. Give me Puddles at my number one. Oh my God.
Cue just Gus Johnson screaming.
Let's go.
Give me just round it again. Give me Puddles as my number one. Puddles is the best mascot. You mean he is the focal point of every enterprise like college mascot commercial. You always see him. He always does the push-ups. Like you said, Matt, the motorcycle. He's always like being funny. He's goofy. Just a lovable mascot. How could you not love Puddles? And Bill Walton Puddles. Absolute dynamic
my
duo.
God. My
Oh,
God.
yeah.
This is a great. I wonder if Puddles went to his funeral.
It's Puddles, right?
Bill. Yeah. Oh,
What a
man.
guy.
RP Bill. My number one, going back to the Southwestern theme, Pistol Pete, Oklahoma State University. Just the Kimbo pistols, the whole outfit. I mean, yeah, Drew, I had to throw that in.
I don't
Great,
like it.
great mascot, Pistol Pete.
Hey, Matt rocking with two guns from two mascots. I like it. But with my number one, we've already talked about him, but I don't know how this guy isn't the most electric mascot in nearly all of sports. It is my number one, BYU's Cosmo the Cougar. Every different stunt that we see, I don't know if you guys saw it recently, but at the game, he did a 7 foot backflip. So he just is always doing some crazy stuff. And yes, that I mean vertical, as in he jumped 7 feet in the air while backflipping and landed on his
Like on a
feet.
trampoline?
No, it's like
Did,
he just did
did
it.
Saquon Barkley fly to Provo and put on
It
Cosmo for the weekend?
may
Like,
or may not have done it, but I think that the biggest reason why BYU gets the spot for me is because of all the choreography that this guy does.
yeah, it's
Again,
elite.
he is the mascot that goes viral, and Puddles is right there behind him. But BYU, Cosmo, send him off. You're my number one.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on Cosmo a lot more, but I wanted to obviously let you have the shine, Jake. But no, he does insane backflips, the acrobatics, the aerial, the dance moves, the stunts, probably the stunts, if anything.
Oh yeah,
yeah, no, it's quite remarkable. Yeah, so Cosmo the Cougar for Jake's one, and that'll wrap up our top five. That'll wrap up the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Any closing thoughts for the show, guys?
let's see the Lions put something up tonight.
Yeah, this is gonna be a great game.
That's what I'm focused on right now. I gotta get back to the drawing board. It was a tough week, but listen, I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9 because 0 for 9 means I stop shooting. So that's where we're at.
How many times I have to hear this damn quote of you not stopping?
I'm a bucket man. I can't stop.
Yeah, I think Jared Goff should keep rolling with his completion percentage. I mean, he hasn't had a game under 72% in like 6 games in a row. So elite precision, laser precision. But that'll wrap up the show. Thanks you for everybody tuning in. Make sure you like the video, comment, share with a friend. Go to our Spotify, give us 5 stars. Go to our Twitter, X, go to our TikTok. And that'll do it for another episode of Pros and Fingers Podcast.
Adios.
Bros.